Today is December 22nd, 2022. My name's Kurt Meir. Let's review some oil industry news. U.S. crude oil, West Texas Intermediate, is selling for $78 a barrel. It's down slightly from yesterday. U.S. natural gas is selling for a little over $5 per MMBTU. The U.S. rig count from last week was 776 rigs. It's down 4 rigs from last week. North Sea Brent crude is about $82 a barrel. It's down slightly. So oil has stabilized at around $70 to $80 a barrel. U.S. rig count activity has been pretty flat in the last several weeks. All right, before we get into the news, I want to talk to you about one important shale play in the United States. It's up in the northeast United States, and it's called the Utica Marcellus. So the existing Utica wells are shown in blue, and the Marcellus Shale wells are in the brown. And currently, there's 54 rigs drilling in the area. So you can see the black rig symbols. So to date, over 20,000 rigs have been drilled in the area. But in the Pennsylvania, Ohio, West Virginia area, where the main Utica is, there's 37 rigs running. And there's over 12,000 wells existing in that area. Up more to the northeast, near Pennsylvania, New York border, there's 17 rigs running, and this is the Marcellus Shale main area, and there's 8,000 wells drilled there to date. So it's a big, important area of drilling and production, especially natural gas, that can supply the northeastern United States with gas for heating. So it's a very important area. All right, in the news, some large investors have been filing resolutions with public oil companies and trying to get them to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions, mainly the Scope 3 emissions, which is indirect emissions in their supply chain and down the line. So the name of the main activist group is called Follow This. And so they filed some resolutions with 3 of the largest public oil companies, one of them being Shell. And Shell responded by saying, we have good existing targets in place to reduce emissions, and that these resolutions are really simplistic and unrealistic and against the best interests of Shell. Chevron said they value input from the investors that will give ideas to enhance shareholder value. So I'm not sure this enhances shareholder value, some of the proposed resolutions. Exxon said no comment. All right, in other news, the Permian Basin of the United States, big oil companies are pouring in big money for their 2023 plans. Exxon has a plan. Their planned capital includes 70% spend in the Permian. So this is a huge percentage all going into the Permian. It's pretty amazing. Chevron has a $17 billion capital plan for next year, and $4 billion of that is for the Permian. So it's a large percentage. So this is a large, very important area with a lot of production in the It's one of the largest producing areas in the United States, and the oil companies are raising their forecast for next year's spending a little bit and putting a lot of it into the Permian. All right, I support the oil and gas industry. I work in the oil and gas industry, and I strongly recommend that you support the oil and gas industry because it provides us with cheap, reliable energy that powers our modern lifestyle. And there are no alternatives to oil, gas, and coal in the foreseeable future. So support the oil and gas industry. That's what I do. Thanks.